Troublesome times I hear, feeling in touch with fear. Freedom we all hold dear, now is at stake.
We can hear.
Your heart to God, save from the chasing wrong. Seek the way pilgrims strive, Christians away. My Jesus is coming soon, morning or night or noon. Many will meet their doom, trumpets will sound.
Thanks for sharing your time with us today. We're blessed. We got a visitor here for the first time, and it's Davette Blalock. Did I say that right?
Sure.
Davette is a council person. I'm supposed to say council person, right?
That's
Not
right.
councilman, but a council person. That's right. We're glad to have you here. I appreciate
Thank
you
you.
taking the time to come.
Thank you.
You're not looking forward to this at all, are you?
Yeah.
Well, it'll go quick, okay? What we want you to do is just talk about the city of Nashville, and the name of this program is Hope for the Cities. And you have some, obviously you ran for the council. You've got something that you want to talk about. And if you will, we'll give you the opportunity to talk about those things, and we'll share it. And this is a program that touches a lot of people's lives. And we're going to have a lot of people that's watching that are single parents, raising children, living in the inner city community, and they struggle. Life is tough. And so anything that you can say that would be helpful to them, to those mamas. But then to the whole city. It's your city. It's my city. It's our city. And
That's
so let's talk about it. Why did you get into the council?
Well, my district is my stomping grounds. I went to high school at Overton, and
I went to Overton graduation the other night.
Yeah, quite different than back in '89 when I graduated.
Yeah, it was great. They had it over the Curb Center. First award went to my granddaughter for perfect attendance for 4 years.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I was thrilled. I was thrilled. It was great. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'll do
that's
this after
fine.
the program. I'll just
Good.
interrupt. So you graduated Overton.
Yes, my husband did as well. And we've just seen our district change a lot for the good, and I just wanted to get involved. I've always been interested in government, so I just...
Even when you was at Overton? Did you run for anything at Overton?
I did. I ran for treasurer, but I did not get it at the time, but I was new. I only went to Overton for 2 years. So.
Okay.
But it was interesting. I really enjoyed meeting all the people in the district when I was running, knocking on doors. That was a lot of fun.
You like campaigning, knocking doors.
I had no idea what I was getting into.
Okay.
This was my, I had no idea, but I had a lot of people telling me what I needed to do, and so I just knocked on a lot of doors and got a lot of yes votes. So.
What did you, now you and your husband's in business, or y'all work together? Y'all in the same business?
No, he works for Harrison Consoles. He builds big consoles with all the buttons for movie productions. And
Okay. So as this city becomes more and more into movies and so forth, that increases his business. What do you do for now? The council is not a full-time job. It's
so they
part-time.
say.
That's what they say. Good councilman is a full-time job. I probably didn't say that right. Well, but you have another employment.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Absolutely, yeah. I help people protect their assets and increase their net worth by real estate and financial planning.
Did you study that? You went to school where? College?
Well, I went to MTSU for a little while, and then I went through the Certified Financial Planning course, which is, it's kind of like going to law school, so it's a very intricate course. So.
And you have to constantly be upgrading, I guess, to take that information.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah. Does that help you much in the working with the metro government?
Well, I really wanted to get on the Budget and Finance Committee. That was my goal when I was running.
This is your first time around?
This is my first time around, so hopefully maybe next time if I get reelected I could be on that committee. Financial budgets, that's what I do, so I'm looking forward to working more for
I catch them sometimes on Channel 3 when they're doing the budget hearings, and I listen to those department heads come in there, and it amazes me. Chief Anderson comes in and starts talking about that police budget, and Buck's talking about the fairgrounds, and O'Darren down there talking about the sheriff's department, and those are people I know, and it amazes me the amount of detail that they have on that budget. They do a lot of prep work on that, or they got some good people helping them grasp to get their hands around it.
They do.
Do you know what the budget is? I asked the mayor when he was here one time, he told me, but I can't remember. Do you know what the budget is for Nashville?
Well, we're not done yet. We're just not done yet. So we're right in the middle of everything. So don't have the final numbers as of right now, but we, for all these budget hearings, I think last night we had our meeting, and we had the budget hearing, so everybody could come and talk about how they feel about the budget, their pros and cons. I guess the main con, that they wanted to support the fairgrounds. So I'm on board with the fairgrounds, looking forward to try to make that happen. We did increase the police increments to make sure the first responders get their raises and their increments that it was not in the initial plan. So that was a really big win for the city.
What about the fairgrounds? That's a hot topic in this town, and I
Really
don't understand
is.
why it is. I just
I
never
know.
have been able to get my hands around why some people don't want the fairgrounds or want to change the fairgrounds. But it has really been good for my people, the inner city folk. The state
Yeah.
fair and so forth. I've said this all along. The last fair that I think Buck ran was when it rained 13 days in a row. If it had good weather those 13 days, that fair was set up right, because my people went to it. When I say my people, I'm talking about the inner city people, because
Right.
the inner city folks, they can't go to Daytona, or they can't go to
Right.
Disney World.
Right.
This is their entertainment, and they thoroughly, the families, and I'm not talking about hoodlums, I'm talking about the families, thoroughly enjoyed going to the fair. They went in the rain. They thoroughly enjoyed that, and it just broke their hearts. It just started to downsize, and it broke their heart. Fairgrounds is a big part of our community.
It is. It really is.
What is the future of the fairgrounds?
Nobody really knows.
What would you like to see?
I would like to see it upgraded and to really have more events there. That's what I would like to see. Not to take away from our wonderful Music City Center or
that's beautiful. Yes.
or other venues, but I think the people that would come there and rent that space to hold functions is just much different than any other venue in town. So if it was upgraded, the buildings are really old. They all need repair, or you could tear them down and redo the whole layout. That hill, when you first come in, that's a big issue for a lot of people. They just don't want to rent it because of that. Even some of the state fair have had issues with that. So there's a lot going on with that. I think, number one, we just need to fund it and let Buck see what can happen.
Have you seen Buck's plans? Have you heard Buck's dream, long-range dream for the fairgrounds?
I have heard several different plans on that. I know he wants to have the flea market with possibly in a different location, and the farmers market combined. So
he's got a big dream there. I want to see him bring in a entertainment thing like Opryland used to be. I want to see him put that thing out there. And if it floods, just pick up the engines and run with them, and come back and put them down and run again. I don't have to figure out. I don't have to be right. I'm just a citizen. I can just come up with all kind of plans.
Well, keep them coming, because that's where everything comes from.
Because I see people coming to the Music City Center, and I'm in favor of that. I'm not opposed to that. I think it was great. It's great for my people because they're going to provide jobs downtown.
Right.
And my folks can't go out to Smyrna somewhere to go to work. They need jobs that are downtown. And this is going to be a real blessing to this city, I think. And I'm all for it. And, I wasn't even for the Titans coming. I didn't think, well, we don't need to do all that. We don't need. Boy, that unified this city more than any one thing. I am a Titans fan. It was great.
Yes, I am as well, yeah.
So I'm proud to put that through. And the center, though, because what I'm saying is these big groups come in here, conventions come in here, if Mama and the kids had a place to go while Daddy goes to meetings, or vice versa, she goes to meetings, Mama goes to meetings, Daddy takes kids and goes to the entertainment spot if it was close by. And I think the fairgrounds would be a great place to have some big amusement park placed in there, because that would be a good location.
I could be in agreement with that. Along with the mother and the children taking the kids and going doing things, with the convention center, we have really focused on entertainment. This whole city has, the new Civil War brochure. I wish I'd have brought that. It's lovely, and it shows all over Nashville, all of our unique homes, and just kind of gives you pinpoint areas.
Probably a lot of history here that we don't even know about.
That is so true. That is so true. And so as people look to travel with the baby boomers, a lot of people are looking to travel based on history. And so that should really boost just that one little brochure, kind of tying everything together and doing the research that it took to, to present that brochure, and just the marketing that will come from the chamber. And
I was down to the mayor's speech the other day on the state of Metro, and he was talking about how that we can be at the top of the ladder for people wanting to come here and bring their families here. And to me, that brings jobs to our folks. And if we can get people to come in here and provide jobs for our people, then that helps ours. Because my whole philosophy with inner city ministry is build families. I believe that if you build a family, you fix a family, you fix the problem. And so we have so many families that are struggling. And when they were children, they struggled. They haven't been equipped. You're talking about financial planning. They don't know how to financial plan.
Well, let me interrupt and say they need to go to the Financial Empowerment Center. Are you familiar with that?
Hadn't heard of it.
It's brand new, just opened. It's on Foster, and it's free. And it's not just for low income, it's for anybody. And it's basically free, basic financial planning. They'll do the taxes. They'll help you get a checking account started. They'll just teach you basic financial planning. And it is a fantastic program. It's also offered at the Casa Asa Fran on Nolensville Road.
Yeah, I know where that is.
And I mean, that is not just, I mean, the name Casa Asa Fran is obviously not an English, based name.
It's not a South Nashville
It's not,
name.
but it is not just for Latinos or, out of towners. It is absolutely for anybody to go in there and just take advantage of this. This is a Bloomberg grant that we got. It was a $2 million Bloomberg grant. Probably every city in America applied for it. Only about 10 got it. So we're very proud of that.
I believe the
Bloomberg
mayor
grant.
mentioned that in his speech. I think he did.
He probably did.
I think he did. You do financial planning. You do that for a reason. You believe in it. We got people watching this program that don't even know what financial planning is. They get a government check. That's their income.
Right.
Talk about that. How important is, boy, that's a pretty ring you got on there.
Thank
Your
you.
husband give that to you?
He sure did.
Boy, got good taste, didn't he?
I kind of helped him pick it out.
Okay. That's financial planning. What would be, this would be a good interview, just relax, everything's going to be okay. How important is financial planning to a family that says, hey, okay, I got a fixed income, I don't have to plan financially, everything I've got, I'm going to spend. How important is financial planning to that family?
I think it's crucial. I think it's crucial in every aspect of our lives. You look at divorce rates, it's usually because of financial problems. So it's like you said, you start with the basics and at the family, and hopefully everything will work itself out. Now, even though you get a budget, even though you get a check from the government and it's small, it still needs to be budgeted.
People don't understand that.
No, they don't.
They eat it first of the month, struggle the rest of the month. And if they would just knew how to sit down and what items to buy and what items not to buy. And my folks are just notorious for going and paying way too much money for something that if they went to another place, they could get it so much cheaper, or another brand, and it would be just as good. They don't know. Do you go through that kind of training in financial planning?
I do a little bit, but the Financial Empowerment Center will really, really,
do that.
Absolutely.
We need to I need to get more information on that. How do I get that? Just call Metro?
Well, Eric Cole is heading that up, and I don't have the phone number, but you can call the mayor's office. It is the Casa Asa Fran, and they'll definitely.
Because we provide transportation for a lot of our folks, and we got families, we got young people. I want teenagers. We already have a financial planning program as part of we have volunteers come in and teach our children some financial planning. Mostly it's not the children, it's young adults. And just a small number, 6 or 8, and they go through this training, and they are doing well. They're putting it, I think, after you do it for 2 or 3 years, you train 8 or 10 this year, 8 or 10 next year, 8 or 10 next year, you're going to see some people empowering their lives.
Well, just let me know, and I'll help out in that area.
Okay.
If you need me to come volunteer a little
We
bit.
always need volunteers.
I'm
Got
sure
1,000,
you
need
do.
another 1,000.
I'm
And
sure
we just
you
bought
do.
another piece of property, and we're going to really need a big one this time.
Good.
We bought a piece of property over here on Ellington Parkway.
Okay.
I'm having a senior moment here, I can't think, but it's between Douglas and Cleveland Street, and 90,000 square feet. warehouse, and we're going to remodel that thing, and we're going to set it up to train families. What you're talking about. Want to empower families.
The Casa Asafran, they have a huge kitchen.
My staff's never been out there and looked at it.
Isn't that awesome?
That's what they said.
So
they said
it's the only one, and so they're training people to get jobs and to start their own businesses, and so that's a lot of what I think our social services are doing as well. They've got a plan, Metro Action Commission, which I'm on the board. They do amazing things. The GED program that they have, it's free. And of course
we sent a guy to that. One of our guys didn't make it in school, just couldn't make it. We couldn't get him there. And when they went there and they interviewed for that program, they reached out to him with open arms, and they didn't treat him like a second-class citizen. And I was really, really impressed with the report I got back from how they reached out with him to help him to try to get him some kind of certificate or diploma to where you go out and make him more marketable.
They even pay for the first semester's books when they go to college after they pass. So it's a really neat program. The Metro Action Commission, with their Head Start program, I'm sure you're very familiar with that. From pregnant mothers, they get a nurse that comes to their home, all the training they need, and take care of the kids all the way up to age 5. Of course, you do have to be income-based approved in that.
And you have to take the initiative to go. Now, mamas, I hope y'all are listening to what they're saying. They're not going to come knock on your door. You need to contact them, and then you need to follow through. Get you a calendar and write down on that calendar, and every morning you get up, look at that calendar, and see what you're supposed to do today. Some of y'all are trying to keep all these dates in your head, and you got 2 or 3 kids, and man, you can't keep anything in your head because your kids are going to be inside your head. So get you a calendar, plan your day, and then work the plan. Get your plan and work the plan. That works, don't it?
That does work. Does work.
My staff visited the Spanish-speaking space on the sounding place, that name, I can't pronounce it, and they said it was really awesome, and we're going to do some of those things in our facility. One of the things I want to do so much, Councilman, is that I want to help start teaching our children good nutrition, because our folks just don't. I'm fixing, after this interview, I walk out of here and go to a funeral of a boy. It's 40. He was 39 years old. I first met him when he was 7 years old. He did
You're
not
that
eat
old,
right.
are you?
No, I'm not. I was just a babe. And he abused his health by the way he ate. He didn't eat properly, and he shortened his life, I feel like, significantly. And my wife tells me I'm doing mine all the time because I'm part of the problem. And I just want people to learn how to eat right so they can feel better.
Right.
And they can do so much better. So that's something we're going to be working with, and I want to work with Metro on this and see if we can empower some families to challenge them to fix good meals and start just teaching the children. Because kids will eat salads, they'll eat broccoli. I didn't know what broccoli was growing up. They'll do those kind of things if we put it in front of them and teach them how to prepare it where it does taste good.
That is right.
And you're a mother, it's important, isn't it?
It is. I've learned you sprinkle a little cheese on it, they'll eat anything.
Yeah, that's what I had a chef tell me. You know, if you can't fix it right, just throw cheese at it, and anybody can. That's the problem my folks have got. We're putting cheese on everything.
There's too much cheese. But you know, there is the Metro Action Commission has it's funded for 6,000 summer food programs to feed. You know, because we've got over 70% of our students that go to Davidson County are on some sort of free lunch or, you know, subsidized. So that's huge. And so a lot of people in the summertime, a lot of those children, they just don't get fed at all without some type of assistance. So it is funded for 6,000. So there's actually some space available for, you know, they're funded for 6,000 and there's still some room. So if there's communities out there, you know, it needs to be low-income families, you know, being served. So if there's churches,
nonprofits, that's working with kids in summer programs, they can
still go online and call the Metro Action Commission and potentially get on that list. So
we work with Second Harvest, and we transport 800 children a week to 20 different learning centers, and we give them a backpack lunch when they get off the bus. And the reason I know it's so important, you know, we'll give out 800 lunches, sacks, backpacks a week, and there'll be one or two. One night the kids got off a bus and some old boy took a can or something and threw it at the bus, and a worker was out of a middle class community, didn't know what was going on. He was just outraged by it and need to stop giving it out. Well, that ain't gonna happen. So I got out the next morning before the people got out to clean the place up. I found 2 sacks on the ground. We gave out 400 in that community. Only found 2 sacks. That means they took those bags. They took those bags home. If it wasn't important, they'd have been all over the parking lot.
That's
they'd have been all
right.
over the yard. So no, it is very important. And now that the school is out, and we shut down those learning centers when we run on the Metro school schedule, we will hand deliver 800 of those backpacks to families with children this all summer. And that really is, they tell me, families come and tell me all the time that this is a real blessing to them, because there are things children can eat. They can fix themselves. And that's, and more of that kind of stuff out of government really helps, where government and nonprofits work together for the citizen. But we got to take that extra step that you were talking about. We've got to teach families, you know, the old fish, teach them how to fish.
That's right.
And give them a fish to can draw them. We've got to teach these families to take charge of their life and become more productive and be responsible for their decision making. And if you'll go work that out in Metro Council, and where we can teach every family to do that in 3 steps or less, I'll hug your neck.
Sounds good. Sounds real good, doesn't it? Yeah, we do have a large poverty rate. Even though we've got wonderful things going on in our city, we still have a huge poverty rate. But we are inner city. You know, Davidson County, you got all the counties around us.
Right.
Of course, they come to work here potentially, but the inner city, that's, you know, they come here for our services. You know, we do spend 4% of our budget on social services.
Is that right?
So that a lot of people think that we should cut out all social services and, you know, be real radical and just kind of fund what we have to provide government. But it's only 4% that we're currently spending on social services, and it's such a big help for a lot of people.
I understand that mindset, the old idea of lock them up and throw away the key and you solve the crime. If you sit down and count the cost of locking them up,
Much more.
you're not going to be so interested in locking folk up.
That's right.
I can take that money that you lock them up and teach a child not to be a criminal. I forgot, I had at 2.3 million or something the kind it is to incarcerate a person for a lifetime. And that is just so ridiculous when we can take that, spend some time with them, get some mentors, get some college kids, get some people involved in that child's life and help them get over all that anger and believe in them and do what you're talking about, teach them how to schedule, plan, manage their life. A whole lot cheaper. And it's cheaper to train boys and girls than it is to men and women. Much cheaper. And this whole idea of just locking them up and throw the key away, those people they don't know what they're talking about. I've been down that road. I know it does not work.
I think our mayor, with spending so much time and money on education, is really doing it right in that area. We do spend like 41% of our property taxes on education.
It will pay off.
It will. It will.
And people don't understand that. People like me that's not educated, and we hear that and we think, ooh, that's not going to work because I didn't want to go to school, don't like school, you know. But it will pay off.
Yeah.
If people can earn a good wage and manage their money properly, they become productive. Then they break that cycle. The important thing is to break the cycle. Not children grow up in poverty, don't need to stay in poverty.
That's right.
I heard, I was watching Fox one night, and the old boy run for president, never can think of his name. He rattled off some figures about poverty in this country, and man, it was informative. I tried everywhere in the world to get to hold those figures, and I couldn't get a hold of them, but it was astounding to me how fast America's going toward poverty, and it resulted back to the breakdown of the home, of the two-parent family, and it breaking down the home, and it just perpetuates itself. It just goes farther and farther down because they're not doing what you're talking about. They're not planning their lives. They're just surviving. I see so many kids that just survive.
It does need to start with the kids. They need to plan. They need to, you know, I've got a 4-year-old and almost 8-year-old, and they learn. I give you $1. This is what you can spend. I'm not giving you money for tax. You got to go under $1. So, you know, little things start.
Teach them
early.
that on the front end, and yeah, you know, I've raised a bunch of kids and go through the shoplifting thing. Man, I want it, so they grab it, you know, and they go out the door, and the buzzer goes off, and you march them back in, and they have to apologize and go through all that stuff. And that's part of training children and teaching them how to spend. I'm big on giving a child allowance.
Yeah.
And let them earn and see. And I've run it everywhere in the world, but that seems to be the best formula. If it builds their self-worth. When we grew up on the farm, a kid had a self-worth. He contributed to the family. That child contributed because they had to do chores and do things. But in a urban city setting, it's if a child doesn't clean its house, if they don't keep a clean house, if they don't wash dishes, if they don't do things, if they're not assigned tasks, they don't learn how to be responsible, so they don't feel like they're contributing to their family. Teach them youngins to do things around the house so they can feel part of y'all's family.
Oh, I need that help.
We ain't got but 2 minutes. Tell me something you looking forward to with Metro.
Well, Tusculum Elementary on Nolensville Road is on the chopping block it was hopefully for this year, but we had to push it off. So next year, we're looking to tear that one down and rebuild it. So I'm excited about that. Bringing a dog park to our district. Was looking to do it on Edmondson Pike and Huntington Parkway, and opening a new park there. However, the gas line is coming right through there, so that's put us off for who knows how long. And so we're going to put a small little dog park at Tusculum at Pitts Park. So that's going to be pretty exciting for
What's a
people to
dog
get out.
park? Where you walk your dogs?
It is, but it's a social thing. People really like to get out and talk and let their dogs play. And I'm all for, if you know your neighbor, you may not steal from them, right?
That's right.
So.
And you watch out for them.
That's right. So get out and meet your neighbors.
We're taping this on the heels of what happened in Oklahoma, that devastation out there, and we saw the flood here. We ain't got 1 minute, but Nashville bailed out in the flood and went to work. Everybody came out and bought into it and helping each other in the flood. I want you to come back. It wasn't that painful, was it?
Not at all.
Okay. We'll play this thing 100 years from now. It'll still be going.
I hope not.
But I want you to come back. And now that you've been through one thing, you come back and we'll talk about the city of Nashville, because it's our city.
It is.
And you'll hopefully be reelected, and so you're going to have some input in what we do, and we need to do things in the city to make our city a better place to live. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
We got to go to Bobby Joshlin's and have lunch now.
Okay.
Too bad you're going to a funeral.
Hey.
Look what I got.
All right, that's great. That's uptown. Take a look at that. We got to go, folks. Thanks for tuning in. This lady is good for our city, and she loves kids. That's right, way to my heart right there. We'll take care of that. Thank you for tuning in. God bless. Hang in there. And mamas, love your children. Take care of them. Love them.
Sometimes I hear feeling inside with fear. Freedom we all hold dear now is at stake. Humble your heart to God, save from the chastening wrong. Seek the way pilgrims strive, Christians away. My Jesus is coming soon, morning or night or noon. Many will meet their doom. Trumpets will sound, and all of the dead shall rise. Righteous me in the skies. I'm going where no one dies, heavenward bound. What troubles will soon be, or happy forevermore. When we meet on that shore, free from all care. Rising up in the skies, telling this world goodbye. Home when we will fly, glory to share.